A lot of us have seen those crazy car builds that either feature a V12 in a Miata, a water-powered engine in a buggy, or even a jet engine in a minivan. But none of us expect car brands to be crazy enough to build something like that. Well, guess what? Chrysler dared to do it once, and it went horribly wrong. Just like water-powered cars, there's a reason why this one model from Chrysler didn't last long. Stick till the end of the video, and you'll discover the shady story behind the 1963 Chrysler Turbine Car. In the early 60s, life was good, so good that car brands had another chance to show their creative side. We've finally started seeing fresh designs that are different from the usual classic style of the 50s. Cars like the Aston Martin DBS, the Shelby Cobra, the Lamborghini Miura, and even the Nissan 2000 GT have made their fresh appearance in the 60s. But apart from exterior style and design, manufacturers have also gone wild performance-wise. BMW tried putting their motorbike engines on the BMW 700, and Chevrolet produced the first flat engine ever. But the most surprising of them all was Chrysler's wild idea to put a jet engine in their car and call it the Turbine Car. This engine had no spark plugs, no pistons, no valves, no crankshaft, not even mufflers. Just a jet turbine in the engine bay. Surprisingly, this engine could work on almost anything, whether it was regular gas, kerosene, diesel, peanut oil, perfume, or even vodka. As long as it could burn, it could make the engine spin. Speaking of spinning, the only part in the entire engine system that was spinning was the turbine, which meant it had less chances of breaking down, which also meant very low maintenance. The Turbine Car was known for its smoothness and lack of vibrations, which made the drivers feel like they were actually flying a plane. The lack of friction inside the engine ensured that it could spool up from 0 to 20,000 RPMs in a few seconds, despite the car having a really slow acceleration. Every single person who had the opportunity to drive the Chrysler Turbine Car insisted on the experience while behind the wheel. Driving such masterpiece felt magical to them. It felt as smooth as flying a motorless glider since vibrations were almost null. Unlike driving a 6th Gen Civic with a gearbox crispier than anything else. Now, even though this car felt like a flawless masterpiece, that gave you a taste of heaven, it had one flaw. Chrysler had just proved it was possible to fit a jet engine in a car, although it was not all that simple. There's already a huge difference between the mechanics of a plane and those of a car, let alone jets. Jets are one of the fastest vehicles to ever exist, and are only reserved to the ones who can afford it. So, you cannot simply put a jet engine in a car and expect it to go flawless. The only flaw that the Turbine Car had was that the exhaust system reportedly ran excessively hot. Of course, you'd go on to say that it's not much of a problem, but the real issue we're talking about here is simply the fact that it only had one flaw. Before we get to the explanation, consider subscribing and smashing the like button if you're enjoying the video so far. The dashboard of the Turbine Car included a temperature gauge that could reach 2000 degrees, but according to Road and Track, the temperature indicated on that gauge was not measured at the end of the exhaust, but inside of the turbine. Now, apart from the heat, two other minor flaws surfaced during the testing phase of the Turbine Car. The complicated starting procedure required to start the engine, which is just like the one on a plane, and the incapacity to run on leaded gasoline. But since the car was still on its testing phase, those two flaws could easily be solved. Now, how is the fact that there's only one flaw the actual issue? Well, 3 years after its release, Chrysler was ordered to destroy 46 out of the 55 models produced. The explanation given by Chrysler executives was pretty complicated and did not make much sense. They claimed they had abandoned the project after they found out they were unable to scale the car's production. The main argument of that claim was that the metal used for the turbine, which was capable of holding back all the heat, was very rare and hard to extract. But chances are, this claim was only a way to hide the truth. During the testing phase of the Turbine Car, it had become the victim to a whole range of regulations concerning emissions and safety requirements. It may sound pretty normal at first glance, but for example, the same year the car was released, the Clean Air Act was enacted and took effect a few years later, which definitely restricted Chrysler from commercializing the Turbine Car. Now, considering the fact this car's engine could run on almost anything, it was obviously problematic for the oil industry. If the Turbine Car had been approved to be successful, Most of the other automotive makers would be inspired to copy the idea and become independent from the oil industry. Fast forward till date, there are 9 models remaining everywhere around the world. Most of them are in private collections, far away from the public. The only one that has been seen driving around was Jay Leno's personal turbine car, which he used in a recent video on his YouTube channel. After 60 years, the turbine car is recognized as a classic gem, a priceless prototype that could have brought radical change to the car industry. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss anything about cars and business.